since a year has passed within this pandemic, I think now more than ever, there's a high demand and people who need immediate food assistance. And at this time, and if we could all band together as a community and help those in need, it's just going to be such a boost of inspiration for the whole city.
You know your food is going to help someone who's hungry. Right now, there are literally hundreds of thousands of Montrealers who are food insecure.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to your local Samaritan. Today, we're joined by Paul Shore, one of the organizers for the upcoming Miracle Montreal food drive on March 13th. For those who are unaware, this is actually round 2 for the city of Montreal. On September 13th last autumn, I actually participated in this miracle, and it was truly a magical day. That's why I wanted to host another interview with one of the team members, and together we can fight hunger. And since the one in autumn was such a success, I was blown away by how the whole city got together and did this initiative together. On March 13th of this month at 10 a.m., all Montrealers are invited to place a non-perishable food item on their front doorstep or in your lobby, I believe, and volunteers will pick it up and bring it to those in need. So, Paul, before we delve into more about this incredible initiative, I'm curious, tell us a bit about the grassroots of this movement, how it came to be, a bit about yourself, how you got involved in Miracle 13. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. First, thank you, Samara, for having me on your show. I'm very eager to share the miracle with you and your audience. I am a Montrealer. I've lived here most of my life. And as a professional, I've worked mostly in the media, in television and radio, but also on the internet, mostly in news and documentary. And I've also started a couple of one national charity. So I've always been involved with my local community. And even as a media maker, I've seen how important that is as the media landscape changes and there are fewer and fewer local media outlets that everyone is consuming. So we're all kind of living in our disparate, Facebook worlds of information. And so anything that's involving the community, I'm very interested in. I was not involved with the first Miracle Drive on the 13th of September. I think it was the 13th, yeah.
Yes, it was.
But there were about 10 people, I guess, who started this. They were inspired by a group in Chatham, Ontario, who were the first ones in Canada to do this concept, this miracle food drive, essentially trying to get every single person in the city or the community to participate in this food drive. Food insecurity is obviously a major issue across at least certainly across Canada and probably the rest of the world, but also especially here in Montreal, we have probably close to 400,000 people who are food insecure. And I don't think people know that. We live in pretty ghettoized communities. We don't necessarily have exposure to people of different socioeconomic classes as ourselves. So for me, I'm always looking for ways to make citizen participation easy for people and fun if possible. I personally have been not always, but in 2003, for example, I started a national charity called Apathy is Boring. And that was designed literally to get young people involved in civic duty, politics, decision-making. That was a long time ago, but it's sort of in my blood. And so a friend of mine who was involved with the first Miracle asked me to be involved. It's completely grassroots. There's no hierarchy in terms of the people involved. Most people don't even really know each other who are helping out. Maybe they met in person during the September one, but most of them, everything's been done on Zoom really in terms of like organizing. And then, the actual day of the event, maybe there's some interaction, but right now we have to be very careful. And we have to make sure that we're doing it safely. So I got involved a couple of months ago, and we're a small group, a growing group, and it's sort of all leading up to this March 13th Miracle Drive.
Awesome. Well, it's so great to see initiatives starting out and in their first days and how they came to be and how they're growing and how it came out of Ontario. I find that so lovely, and how you guys haven't even met for the most part and you're all going to meet on the 13th, maybe.
Maybe, probably not
Yeah,
actually, but
yeah, because you're all scattered across
yeah, we're
Montreal,
probably
right?
never going to meet. It'll be maybe one day we'll meet, but we see each other on Zoom on a regular basis. Yeah.
Nice. So before the 13th, before the big day, what should I do as a Montreal citizen in terms of, preparing a donation, preparing non-perishables in a safe manner? How should I go about doing that?
So our goal is to go by every home, every building in the city. I can't guarantee we're going to accomplish that. We've created. You have a couple of options. I'm encouraging everyone to go to miraclemontreal.org. You can go in it's French and English. It's totally bilingual. And right there, it says register. So
Perfect.
a lot of people are not inclined to register for things, but if you can register a donation, which will give us where you live, so we can pick it up. We know not to miss that spot. You can register to volunteer because we need volunteers. We still need volunteers. And you can register to be a captain. It might be a little bit too late to step up to be a captain. It's actually not too late, but everything is done by geography. And there's a map on the website. So when you register a donation, it appears on the map. If you register to volunteer, it appears on the map. You can choose bicycle, walker, driver. You will get contacted by a team captain. And it's really easy. The idea was to make it really easy for people to participate. So the minimum you can do is register your donation on the website and put a non-perishable can or package of food on your doorstep before 10 a.m. on Saturday, March 13th. And the second thing you can do, and we do need volunteers. I encourage people to sign up to volunteer. You can do that on the website as well.
Awesome. And if after I place a non-perishable food item on my front door and I really wanted to become a volunteer, what does that entail for the day of?
Great question. So once you sign up to become a volunteer, you will get contacted by the team captain of the neighborhood you live in.
Okay.
And that team captain is responsible for managing the volunteers in their little mini district. The more team captains we have, the better.
Awesome.
But that's basically how it works. And in terms of what happens to the food after you pick it up or after you put it out, it gets picked up after 10 a.m., hopefully by some of the people you're going to be speaking to who sign up to be volunteers. If not, they just put stuff on their doorstep. A volunteer will pick them up, and the food will be brought to a place to be sorted or directly to a food bank that's geographically, again, in the same area.
That's awesome. And I love how much work is going into all of the organizing for this. I see the map on the website filling up too with all the different colored bubbles. It's truly magical. I love it. And I'm so excited. And I've been so invested in Miracle 13 ever since I saw this poster in my town in last September, actually. And my main goal for the big day was to get my friends and my family involved, just to get everyone I know involved to participate, right? And I guess this goes to my next question is how could I get my own community more involved and making sure that every nook and cranny of Montreal is participating on the 13th?
It's a challenge, but again, the more people volunteer or register donations, that's great. We do have some posters and some flyers. It's a little bit late now, but I could probably get you some. It's a very grassroots initiative. So we're relying on sort of that multiplier effect.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Social media obviously is a main driver in terms of the just getting people to sign up, getting people to know about the event. There's going to be lots of stuff in the mainstream media, but most of the mainstream media likes to do things the day before the day of the event, which actually doesn't really help us.
It's true. Well, I'm glad we're doing this interview then.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And March 13th, I find, is actually quite significant this year because it marks the first year since the COVID lockdown of 2020. And since a year has passed within this pandemic, I think now more than ever, there's a high demand and people who need immediate food assistance. And at this time, and if we could all band together as a community and help those in need, it's just going to be such a boost of inspiration for the whole city as we reach that 1 year mark. And I don't know, spring is right around the corner, and we're doing this for so many reasons. What Miracle 13 is doing, what you guys are doing, what all the organizers are doing, it's a citywide celebration of kindness and generosity. It's everything that I stand for, and it's what we need right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that we live in a very busy, distracted world. Even despite the pandemic, people are exhausted. They're constantly being distracted. And the more time we spend in front of a screen, the more time we're not, getting together in real life, the more you realize how important it is to maintain the fabric of a community, a physical community, not just like an online community, a physical community, a geographic community. And it's really hard to get everyone to do something together. But this is, the idea was to make, to try and advertise something that's really easy for people to participate in whichever way they can, but also that will instantly bring people together because your food is going to help someone who's hungry. Right now, there are literally hundreds of thousands of Montrealers who are food insecure. And we need to help. We can help. And I'm also personally just a big fan of little things. We live in a world where I think essentially most people feel powerless. And the only place you have real control or power in your life is right in front of you, in your local community. We don't have control over Donald Trump. We don't have control over even the Prime Minister. What we have control over is what we can do in our actions right in front of us. And those little things, they make a big difference. And if we can do that, sort of help weave that into the fabric of our city, it'll bring everyone together. It'll help people in a genuine, authentic fashion that's tangible. And it'll just make our city, our world, a little softer.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I really agree with you that small, everyday actions turn into a big, big change after a while. And I guess that brings me to our last question, Paul, because you're involved in such a lovely project. I mean, you're articulating it so well. The community is going to benefit from this widespread, and to fight hunger, to bring people together. At your local Samaritan, my goal is to teach others the importance of kindness and generosity in their day-to-day lives. And why do you think kindness and generosity is so important?
Well, because it's important. Well, first of all, I want to say that it's easy. Okay.
There you go.
Smiling is free. It's easy. So, I have a lot of experience interacting with strangers, people I've never met, and interviewing them actually on camera spontaneously with no preparation. And what I learned is that when people are given an opportunity, people are almost don't even know they're looking for an opportunity to give back. But when they're given an opportunity, it's very easy to say yes. And why is it important to be kind? Because what kind of legacy do we want to leave? When you die, when we all die, they're not going to remember how much money you made. They're not going to remember what you accomplished in your job. They're going to you know what you're going to be remembered by, Samara? You're going to be remembered by how you made people feel. So if we can all be a little kinder and make that, and be conscious of that, be mindful of that, then it makes a big difference. You yourself will attract more positive energy, and the people who subsequently do it will attract more positive energy. And there is a ripple effect. I don't think that can be denied.
Love that. Yeah, what you feed out to the world comes back to you. If you spread kindness, kindness will come back to you in every shape and form. And I'm a firm believer of that in every shape and form. So Thank you, Paul. This was a
You're welcome.
lovely, insightful interview. Remember, everyone watching, that on March 13th, Saturday, March 13th, is the Miracle Food Drive. So get your non-perishables ready, visit the website, become a volunteer if you want to. Anything else you want to add?
I wanted to quickly just say, and just so it's easy to remember, one, it takes 1 minute. We have all the tools waiting for you. It's at miraclemontreal.org. Become a captain by organizing the collection with the other volunteers of your area. That's one thing we're looking for. But mostly we're looking for volunteers by car, by foot, by bike even, to help with pickup of donations and delivering them to the recipients.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Me
looking forward
too.
to it so
Thanks
much.
so much, Tamara.
Yeah, remember to spread kindness today and always, and participate on the 13th. We need it.
Please. Before 10 a.m.
Before
Thank
10
you.
a.m.